As Community Services Manager at the Duxbury Senior Center, Alexandra Newcomb provides outreach, support, and advocacy for Duxbury residents. Julie Thompson spoke with Alexandra to learn more.
I'm so pleased to welcome today Alex Newcomb, who is the Community Services Manager at the Duxbury Senior Center. Welcome, Alex. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks, and thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Excited to have you. Before we go into all the things that you do there at the Duxbury Senior Center, let's talk about you and how you got to be into this position.
Sure. So I've been here in this role since this past December, so it's been about 5.5 months. And prior to joining the Senior Center, I worked for the Executive Office of Elder Affairs in Boston. I was there for about 6.5 years. And I worked in their assisted living unit. I was a surveyor for senior living communities in the Commonwealth. And prior to that, I worked in assisted living, the private side. So I've worked in the gerontological field for about over 10 years.
And you have your master's degree in that too, right?
I do, yes. So my very first job in my undergraduate studies, I worked part-time at a senior living. And I just really fell in love with working with older adults. So when it came time to pursue an advanced degree, I found that UMass Boston had a program in gerontology, which is the study of aging, and the master's degree focused on management of aging services. So that's the program I completed, and it really complements what I do here at the center so well.
That's wonderful. Now, obviously, senior centers or centers of active living or all the different things they're called these days are so different than what they were 20 years ago. It's just incredible. Can you talk a little bit about what your particular focus is as the Community Services Manager?
Sure. So our community services program, we work hard to empower seniors, their families, their caregivers to make really informed life choice decisions. And we do that by providing them information, support, guidance, and other, related senior service and community resources. So what does that mean for me as a community services manager? So my job is specifically, outreach, support, whether it's a friendly visit for someone in the community, maybe they have a hard time getting out of their house for one reason or another. I also do a lot of advocacy for folks, but probably one of the biggest roles I do at the center is I'm information and referral. So someone may call and say, I'm starting to think about assisted living and I really have no idea what the heck it is. So they'll come in, meet with me, we can discuss that. Or maybe it's finding a caregiver for someone. Or maybe it's, navigating transportation needs. So information and referral really covers so much. And we're here just to really be helpful to folks in our community.
That's really great. So you literally one-on-one will work with seniors depending on what their specific needs are to get them connected to the services or the programs that they need to be involved with. Yes?
Exactly, yes.
And what are the services that you see are most relevant or needed for this population that you're working with?
Sure. So some of the most common, you might well call it challenges or things that I help people navigate. A lot of it is caregiving, whether the person themselves is a caregiver and they're trying to navigate that difficult process, or maybe they themselves are getting to a point in their life where they need a little more help and they need help figuring out how to go about finding someone to help them in their home. So caregiving and providing support and resources, that's a big part of what I do. I also help people navigate housing. So maybe they're selling their family home and they want to move into whether it's, a senior housing unit in town or assisted living or a retirement community. So I help people with housing a lot as well. And then of course, fuel assistance, assistance with finding food, those sorts of things are also frequently, resources I help people navigate here at the Senior Center.
Okay. And talking about housing, I know that's prevalent not only for seniors, but for everybody at this point. How can you circle that square when there's so few housing options available for seniors? Where do you go for the information?
So I always try to encourage people to be proactive instead of reactive. People are oftentimes discouraged when they hear that the local elder housing sites have a long waiting list to get in. So I always tell people, if you're thinking about moving in 3 years, 5 years, there's no harm in filling out the housing application and getting your name on the list now, because no one knows what the future is going to hold. And it's much easier to navigate things like moving and downsizing when you've done it in a proactive way with a plan. Because when you're stuck in a crisis, things are not as easy as they could be if they were planned ahead of time. So I really try to get people to think ahead.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's not everybody's situation. So it's, really working in the community, figuring out if anyone has any housing resources. Housing is a huge challenge for a lot of people. And we're just trying to get people as best informed as we can so they can make those good choices on their own.
Great. Okay. So you're giving them all the tools, basically.
Right.
Or you're helping them with their tools. Now, how involved are you with all the activities and programs that are run in the senior center? Because, obviously you have all kinds of things. You have golf, you have yoga, you have day trips, you have language classes, you have all kinds of things. How does that activities director position dovetail with what you do?
Sure. So part of my role here is not just working one-on-one with individuals looking for help for, different reasons. I also do bring programs and plan programs for the center. So, one example being looking ahead to July, we're having someone from the Social Security Administration come on site to do an info session. Back in February, we had a geriatrician from Boston Medical Center give us a presentation on, healthy aging. So I work closely with the programs and activities department to bring, activities and programs about wellness, healthy aging, things to be aware of for older adults as they age in their life. So I work really closely, and it's one of the best parts of my job working at the center is I can kind of peek in on a lot of the programs we have. Many of you that you already mentioned, we have wonderful activities and programs going on all the time.
Yeah, you really do. And you are clearly very invested in your population and in your job. That just shines through your words and your face.
Thank you.
Now, you have an event coming up on June 2nd, Teaching Tolerance. Can you talk about that?
Sure. So this is our Pride event. We're very, very excited because we have Bob Parlin joining us. And Bob Parlin is the co-founder of the GSA, which many people may remember from being in school, the Gay Straight Alliance. But the acronym has since changed to Gender Sexuality Awareness. But either way, we're very excited to have Bob join us. He's going to speak to the group. It's an intergenerational event. It's completely free. We have the South Shore Taco guy with his food truck coming to give us free tacos. We're going to have Jasmine perform for us. It's going to be a fantastic event, and we really look forward to everybody joining us on June 2nd.
Oh, that's wonderful. And you said it's open to the entire community. Anybody?
Everybody,
yeah.
Yes.
All ages. Yeah, and you're hosting it there. That's great.
Correct.
Things planned over the summer, special events, special programs?
So like I said, we have Social Security coming here on the 21st to do an information session. And I really encourage everyone to check out our newsletter. If you don't get it in the mail, you can go online to the Duxbury Senior Center website and look at it online. We have some boat trips from the Duxbury Maritime Center. We have some bus trips. I know one of them is going to Newport to look at lighthouses. We just have a lot going on all the time. And I really just encourage folks to come on into the center if you haven't been before. It's a wonderful place. I can't say enough wonderful things about it.
Clearly. And since this population, over 60, is the fastest growing population in our area, you have your work cut out for you. And boy, is Duxbury lucky to have you. We thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course. Thanks so much.
Visit duxburyseniorcenter.org to reach out to Alexandra and connect with all the Senior Center has to offer.
If you've enjoyed this video by The Local Scene, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching.